Oh, it's you again. Yeah, nice of you guys to finally join me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, what? You want to know what happened on the last episode of the Build Series? Tough luck. Yeah. Well, since I'm here, might as well show you. We installed the non-trips on this 120 hydroplane build, all right? Put the sides of the sponsons on. We installed the sponson bottoms. The rad pads are perfectly straight, but you guys would know that if you guys wouldn't have missed the last episode of the build, all right? We put the transom on. We reinforced the sides of the boat, trying to ironclad it out, all right? Prepped it up for the epoxy, which is what we're going to do today. Yeah, stick around. Might as well, you're here. Any wood boat needs to be waterproofed, okay? If you don't waterproof your boat, the inside of the boat, the wood, completely 100% waterproof your boat, you're gonna have big problems, all right? The main problem would be water seeping into the wood and expanding and contracting, warping, stressing the joints out. You'll have cracks. The ride surfaces will become uneven, causing poor performance. So this is an important part of your build process, okay? In between the dry times, we're going to assemble the hatch and start profiling that forward and aft hatch, okay? Before I do that, I want to epoxy the interior of the hatch and glue it on, okay? That's important, all right? I want to keep this boat light. I want to keep it light as possible. I've taken a lot of extra steps to ensure the structural integrity of this boat, adding extra supports here and there, extra ribs, and that adds weight, okay? I've used 14 grams of glue in this boat, okay? That adds weight. So I need to be conscientious of how much epoxy I'm putting in this boat. I'm planning on using larger electronics. I want to eventually run a 3S pack in this boat, all right? It's heavy. I want to put a larger ESC in this boat. It's heavy. So I need to keep the bones of the boat light. We're going to be putting foam in the sponsons, okay? The sponsons are going to be 100% sealed off. No water should get in these outer sponsons here, period, okay? So we've got to take every necessary step to waterproof this boat, all right? I'm in love with this boat. I don't want it to warp, skew, or eventually get waterlogged. I mean, this thing's freaking awesome. So we're going to take some, I got some tricks to show you guys that'll help you guys epoxy and waterproof your boat. All right, so we're going to start the epoxy process. I got 209 and 105. This is the resin, and then the hardener is the 209. It's a slow cure hardener by Wet System. It's not the bottles it came in. I just kind of throw them in these bottles. Got a big gallon of it. It's just easy when I bring it in the house. I got a mirror right here so we can see up under some of the areas that are hard to get to. Make sure we got good coverage. All right, I've got an assortment of brushes here. I've got like some short soft brushes, short hard brush, long skinny, long hard. All right, then I got this big guy here for the big areas. We're gonna weigh it up. We're gonna weigh the epoxy up. All right, and I usually don't weigh my epoxy, but with this boat, I'm trying to stick within a certain weight, and I'm going to weigh it up for you guys, just so you guys can see how much freaking epoxy weighs, how much it weighs. All right, I've also got some little hairs. If there's a couple little areas that I need to kind of reinforce, I will. All right, the previous video to this, like I was just shooting this, taping off this hatch right here, and I was tearing. I had my thumb right here, and I was tearing the tape. Look at this. Look at that. Right there. Boom. My thumb went right through the side of the boat. Even had it supported by a piece of balsa right there. So I've got tape on the boat. Yeah, that's a bummer. I got it super glued back into place. You'll never tell. Well, whatever. This balsa is super delicate. I got some pinstriping tape, all right, that I use to tape off the top side of my support rails here for my hatch. All right, I don't want to build up epoxy on this. I'll build the epoxy up on that once I glue the top side on. You got me? If we build up epoxy now, then it's kind of a pain in the butt to get the top side to set on. You got me? All right, so today we're just going to focus on the interior of the boat on this application of epoxy. All right, hopefully I got you guys a good view. I'll kind of talk you through it as I'm going to to town on this boat. I've already sanded the boat and blew it off with air. All right, if you have denatured alcohol, right now is a good time to wet a brush and brush denatured alcohol on the boat. I don't have any. You can also use denatured alcohol to thin your epoxy out for your first application so it soaks into the wood. I'm not going to do that. I don't have any. I don't feel like going out and getting any denatured alcohol. So I'm gonna cross my fingers that I get a nice coverage. Okay, I'm gonna try to go with one coat. Let's weigh this up. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right, close enough. 8 grams. 8 and 8 is 16. All right, 15.56. All right, 16 grams here. All right, this should be enough to go over the boat. I don't want to use all this if I can help it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use all this if I can help it. I'm pretty sure we'll probably use it all. Pretty sure. Really should have went and got some denatured alcohol and soaked this wood up. I've done that with past wood boats and it really does the trick for your first application to get it to soak into the wood, all the little nooks and crannies, you know. Nice thing about this 209, you got plenty of time to work with it. Plenty of time. Actually, bend, okay, so we can get up under these supports. Okay, we're also going to cut it. I'm going to cut the bristles down because they're a little too long. All right, see that? Now we can get up under this support. I'm gonna go ahead and do the supports first because it's gonna take the longest time, really. All right, so see how I'm getting up under there with this curved brush. Really work it in the boat. Really get it in there, you know. Try to keep it off the top of the stringer right here, if at all possible. We're going to be using that stringer to glue up the top side skin, you know, so we don't want to get it all over the tops of these bulkheads and stringers, because that's going to be all waterproof once we start skinning the top side. You feel me? Okay, so like right here, all right, I should have taped that off. Right here, my skin's gonna attach to this nose piece right here, so I should have taped that off. So I'm wiping off the excess epoxy right there. Gotta use slow cure for a job like this. Okay, it takes time. Get the side of these stringers, the sides of these top side rails, everything. You want to get it complete coverage. If not, you'll have water get in behind the epoxy into the wood, and it'll start rotting. It also adds weight to the boat. Once the water starts getting into the wood, it adds weight to the boat. So your epoxy, it's it's waterproofing, but it's also gluing and adding structure to the boat. So I would like to add some of these hairs in certain spots for structure, because this balsa wood, man, like I said, I broke this little piece off right here. I'm a clumsy, I got big fingers, I'm a clumsy dude. We might add a little bit of this, but that adds weight. You gotta think about that. Alright, see right there? You see the shiny glisten? Alright, and then this is dull. We got that spot. Alright. Use your mirror to see up under places you can't see, you know, with the naked eye. Alright. It comes in handy. It really helps. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use a mirror on a boat like this. My dad used to use them. He used to be a boat mechanic, and he used his mirrors all the time. Seeing up above bulkheads and firewalls and stuff. He uses mirrors all the time. Picked it up from my old man, you know. You really want to work that epoxy in, especially if you're not thinning it out like I am. If you're not using denatured alcohol, you really want to work it in there. And these bulkheads right here, gotta get up under those too. Even these little servo holes, like my servo linkage is going through this little guy right here. You want to epoxy that as well, because you know you're going to get water in the boat. I don't care who you are. There's going to be water in the boat. All of this has to be epoxied. All of these little cutouts, everything. It ain't gotta be pretty. Back here, nobody's gonna see none of this stuff back here. It's all gonna be covered up by skins, you know. Nobody's gonna see this stuff, so it ain't gotta be beautiful. It ain't gotta be like, you know, Michelangelo da Vinci freaking epoxy job back here under the skins and the sponsons. Nobody's gonna see it but you. Once you put your top, skin the top of the boat, if you got any twist in the boat, that's the time you're going to get it out, when you start skinning the top. So even before you epoxy like this, make sure she's flat. Make sure she's right. Man, it's a nice little boat, man. It's been a pleasure to build too. Tedious and aggravating. I broke some stuff. I've had to reproduce parts and things like that, but that's my own fault. It's my first build, you know. Now I know a few tricks, like the whole CA bottle deal. You know, holding down parts with your CA bottle instead of your gorilla fingers, because that CA bottle's not gonna stick quite as bad as the old gorilla finger, you know. So it's been a learning process, and I've enjoyed making this series for you guys. You guys are learning right here with me, and hopefully some of the little tips and tricks I can give you thus far with my build will help you out with yours. You know, it's been a pleasure building this little boat, man. I hope Dr. Jet makes some more. I hope you guys can get your hands on one, because it's a cool little boat. Man, I hadn't slept in 3 days, you guys. Literally, man, I hadn't slept in 3 days working on this boat. 3 days I hadn't slept. You know why? You know why I hadn't slept in 3 days? I've been sleeping at night. I've been sleeping at night. Huh. Try to have fun on the channel with you guys, you know, try to teach you. I'm learning as I'm teaching a lot of times, you know. And you guys are teaching me stuff in the comments, you know, anything you guys see I'm doing wrong or shoot, like or I could do to help with this process or help new boaters with their epoxy process or hydroplane wood kit build period. Just, you know, hell, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, but if there's anybody out there that can give a you know, some tips for some of us new wood kit builders, hey, help us out, man. Help us out. Don't hog it all. Don't hog all that information. Alright, so I went over the stringers twice, kind of laid it down the second time, made sure it was completely coated. Well, not the stringers, the upper supports here. Alright, so now I can concentrate on everything else, basically. I've got the kind of the hard stuff out the way. Well, not quite yet. Let me go ahead and get this motor mount. I've already soaked this motor mount before I installed it. I soaked this motor mount in epoxy and then sanded it down before I actually put it together in the boat, you know. So this will be my second coat of epoxy on this motor mount. I try to think ahead when I'm building my boat. I try to think ahead, you know. I try to think ahead. Like this motor mount, it's plywood, but it's wood nonetheless, you know. And that little motor on 3S, 4S, especially on 4S, she's gonna have some torque. So I was trying to think ahead, go ahead and put a coat of epoxy on it. That way I'll be ahead of the game, you know. You gotta think ahead. This is a thinking man's hobby. You put a swing arm on, boom, it's done. Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta tune the ball joints, the steering linkage, toe in, toe out, you know, blah blah blah, the droop setting. But and the boat and the car runs, you take corners and everything. It's not like a boat. Boats are it's a little more involved with a boat, I guess is the best way to say it. A little more involved than an RC car. RC cars, they break a lot, so it's, you know, and you're involved in that aspect like non-stop, 100%, all day, every day. If you drive your cars all the time, you're involved. Okay, boats, they don't break often, so everything you do to a boat, it's to benefit the boat, to benefit the ride, to get the boat riding better, to lighten it up, to, you know, yeah, they don't break. You're not constantly having to fix a freaking boat. So all that time you're spending working on your RC trucks, trying to keep them running, just keep them. Just keep your RC trucks running. Okay, all that time you're just putting into it, putting money into it, shelling out money for upgrade parts just to keep the car running. All right, boat guys, we don't have to do that. You know, we tune. All that time y'all are spending buying parts and installing upgrade parts or replacement parts for broken arms and whatever, we're tuning and you know, fine tuning our boats. Okay, it's a big difference. It's a big difference with RC cars and RC trucks than boats. All right, it's a whole nother world. Boats is a whole nother world. I'm constantly looking for new ways to make my boat run better. Constantly, I'm always thinking about stuff. You know what I wish. You know what I wish somebody would invent, and I wish I had the equipment or know-how to do it. All right, I'm going to let you guys in on my $1 million idea right now. All right, and if y'all make one, if this comes out, then I know y'all watched my damn video, and I want one. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, this is my idea. Okay, I want, if somebody can make it for me, man, I would love you forever. All right, I want a catamaran. Okay, I want a catamaran that has, all right, you got your sponsons on your catamaran. All right, I want a catamaran that you can clip in ride pads. Okay, like a little like a damn, like a hard, like you have like several different ride pads you can choose from with different step variations, different dead rises on the ride pad, the ride surface. All right, you can take this ride surface off. You might have to like screw it in on the front, screw it in on the back, but you can interchange ride surfaces on a catamaran. Make it where it's got like an indentation like right here all the way back. All right, and then you snap a ride pad in. Boom, boom. Okay, you run it. You want to change it out, you want to put a different set of ride pads, like a different step configuration, different dead rise. Take it off. Boom, slap you a whole nother ride pad on. Whole different. It'll give the boat a whole different ride every time you change your ride pads out. Okay, how cool would that be? How cool would that be? All right, now I can't believe I just told you guys that, because that's something I've been wanting to do. All right, I've been wanting to do that, and it's just, I don't even know if I can do it with my bare hands. I really don't. I really don't know if I could do it with my bare hands. It would take forever, for one, coming up with different ride pad snap-ins, you know, that you could snap your ride pads in with, and for them to work properly. That's something that needs to be done on like a 3D printer type deal. And man, I wish I could do it. Oh man, I wish I could do it. You guys feel me on that? Like a catamaran, just say, like, it don't even have to be a big one, like just say the Blackjack 24. I was thinking about doing it on the Blackjack 24, cutting the ride pads off, all right, and making a mold of the Blackjack 24 with a flat bottom, and then modding out the existing ride pads from the 24 into like 2 or 3 different sets of ride pads. Like, that would be the perfect size boat, like a 24-inch catamaran with interchangeable ride pads. All right, how cool would that be? How freaking cool would that be? Like, and have like upgrade support, you know, like hot racing or freaking even like what, GPM or something. They make upgraded ride pads for that boat. Like, have like 50 different types of ride pads to choose from. That's my $1 million idea. That's my $1 million idea, you guys. And if y'all come out with it, you gotta give me one. All right, all right, all right. I think that would be cool as hell to have a smaller catamaran, in a price range that everybody can afford it. Okay, and everybody can afford the snap-in ride pads, you know, something that you could really have some fun with and mod out. You could make your own, like, it would, oh, they could sell like a blank ride pad that you snap on there, like a blank, and you could like almost like a polystyrene type deal, so it's like easy to, like, you know, like work, and you can make your own, and then put like a G10 ride pad on top of it, you know, make your own freaking ride pad, make it where it's super easy to work and sand. Oh man. Hey, if y'all know anybody that's in the boat business and y'all watching this video right now, send them this video, send them my idea, please. Tell them to get in touch with me. I've got drawings of this. You know, tell them to get in touch with me. I've got it figured out. I just got to get somebody to freaking make it for me. I've got it figured out, y'all. Y'all are thinking like, you're crazy, Big B. That will never freaking work. But I think it will. I think it would work. I think it would be a seller too. Pro boat. I don't even care if you give me one. I would buy it. I don't even care. How about that? Pro boat. That's going out to you guys, okay? Or Oxdean Marine. All right. I hope you're listening. Okay, Bill. I hope you're listening, Bill. Call it the Super B. Okay? You got to call it the Super B. All right, Oxdean, Pro Boat, TFL. Okay? TFL. Got to call it the Super B. Interchangeable ride pads. Y'all heard it here first. Let me stop. So yeah, I'm just kind of working my way down the boat, going thin as I possibly can. Thin as I can, okay? Getting every little nook and cranny. Spending my time jacking my jaws. I'm jacking my jaws while I'm doing it. But I'm getting everything, you guys, everything. See, that's why that denatured alcohol thinning this epoxy out is the trick. You know, I wish I could have done that. I wish I would have gotten off my lazy ass and went to get a freaking bottle of it. But that's neither here nor there. All right. You know, if you got the denatured alcohol, you thin your epoxy out. It would that balsa wood would just suck it right up. You know. It's the plywood that you really got to work it into. It's the plywood you got to work it into. That balsa, it sucks it right in. I've got another idea for an RC boat, but I'm not going to tell you guys quite yet. You're going to have to ring the bell. It'll come up in a later video. I got another banging idea for mono hulls that I know will work. Alright, I know it'll work. You guys are going to have to subscribe, ring the bell. I'll fill you in on that later on. I'm not ready to let that one out the bag yet, but let the catamaran out the bag. But I'm sitting here jacking my jaws, you know. I'm trying to entertain you guys, kind of give you a little insight of Big B and what I think about all the time. My wife's over there listening to me jack my jaws over there. She's like giggling, cracking up over there. She knows how passionate I am about that catamaran with the ride pads. I've spent numerous nights jacking my jaws about that to her. Jacking my jaws to her about it. Oh, I got another idea. Okay, here's my other idea. This is another one I've been thinking about. Alright, so the other day I sank my rigger. Okay, I sank my rigger the other day. Alright, you know how drag racing cars have a parachute system, you know, that deploys at the end of the runway so they don't run into the freaking brick wall or whatever. Alright, well, my $250,000 idea about this is have a little parachute pack just like the RC drag cars have. Okay, a little parachute pack, and I think I might make a video about this. Nobody will freaking watch it because it, you know, whatever. But have a little flotation pack on the top of your boat that you can deploy if your boat sinks, with a string attached to a cork. A string attached to your boat. Okay, you hit the servo, has a little spring lock, boom, it pops your little cork off and your cork floats up to the top so you can recover your sunk boat. All right, that's my other idea, my $250,000 idea. Okay, patent not pending. My idea, if somebody makes it, y'all gotta at least send me a link to the video or give me one. All right. Big ideas here at Ironclad RC. All day I dream about boats. I like little boats and I just can't lie. Isn't that cool though? Huh? Have a little like a parachute system for an RC drag car. Okay? Same little setup. Instead of a parachute, put a cork on it. Alright? Or a float or a pool noodle or expandable foam. Whatever. Have it hooked up to the third channel on your remote, all right, and pop that servo whenever your boat sinks. Or this is why I hadn't made it yet. I was trying to come up with a way if it gets wet, kind of like on a lifeboat, on say like a charter boat or something, or a yacht. If it gets wet enough, it'll automatically deploy. You know, but you know I'm not that smart. I'm not that freaking smart. But I got ideas. I've got ideas, y'all. I've got ideas. Hot racing, y'all take me on now. All right, pro boat. I'm willing to work from home. Bill Oxteen, huh? TFL, y'all listening? I got ideas. That way you don't ever lose your boat, you know? How smart is that? Jeez, why hasn't anybody come up with something like that, huh? Come on, they're coming out with all kind of shit for cars. RC cars, I'm talking about like some of the stupidest stuff you ever heard of in your life for RC cars, you know? What about the boats? Come on. What about the boat stuff? Come out with some cool shit for boats, like accessories, you know? Come on. Are y'all with me? Sorry I'm rambling on. I got a little baby boy coming here shortly. I'm happy. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy. And this boat right here is making me happy. This little boat's making me happy. She's coming along nice. She's coming along nice. This little 120 scale Atlas van's designed by Dr. Jet. Let's get back on this. Let's get back on this subject. Let me quit jacking my jaws. I've got some Veil. Use this Veil like in the mold making process for boats. This is basically the coat, the fiberglass cloth that goes on after the gel coat before the actual chop strand mat. Okay, this is like a thin cloth. All right, I'm gonna use this in certain parts of the boat to strengthen it up. Right. It don't add much strength. I mean, it don't add much strength, but it for this little boat, it's gonna be perfect. It's just gonna add a little bit of structure, but it's not gonna add a lot of weight, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, I don't want to add a lot of weight. I just want enough backing there so I don't rip a freaking hole in my boat, or if somebody hits me or something, or well, more like if I hit something when I'm driving the boat or even transporting the boat, you know, hit something, taking it out of the car or something like that. I want the boat to be strong. Now you don't want to use like what 1 ounce chop strand mat in a boat like this size. That would be ridiculous. So you got to scale it down to compensate for the size of this boat. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna scale down the thickness of the mat, the weight of the mat for this smaller boat. Veil, I think the Veil will do the trick. Man, I've almost. Oh man, I think we are going to use it. 16 extra ounces in this bad boy. Jeez, overpowered big. It's an addiction. It's an addiction, y'all. It's an addiction. It really is. It really is. Like I said, I could sit here and I could build a boat. I've never done that. Build a boat, run it one time and sell it. I've never really sold none of my boats, but I could do that. Like, that's how much I like building boats, and just the whole process, you know, with the fiberglass and you know, making the battery trays, setting up the boat for prime performance and stuff. I mean, that's what it's all about, y'all. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Very passionate. Very, very passionate about this hobby, you guys. Very, very passionate. I'm constantly thinking about my boats. You know, I'm always doing stuff to my boats, trying new things, and sometimes it don't work out, and a lot of times it don't work out, and I don't even tell you guys sometimes what I've done, and it didn't work out. You know, I just kind of keep it under my belt, and you know, you don't need to know about it. But and y'all are like, what in the hell, why is this boat running so shitty? Oh, he needs to put a prop on there or whatever. But that's not the case, you guys. A lot of times I don't tell you some of the stuff I do to my boats. Hell, I watched YouTube for 10 years. For 10 years, I watched YouTube trying to find a channel like my channel. Okay, that's why I started this channel. I used to, you have to go to forums and read between the lines with like how to set up an RC boat, you know, and so, some of the stuff that I've shown you guys, and told you guys, and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn. I'm just saying, like 5 or 6 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, some of this information I've shared, it was hard to find up until, you know, like M5 Performance. He's pretty good channel. I mean, I like watching him. I've never really been a hydro guy. I've always run monos and catamarans and stuff. But M5, I mean, he lets you in on a lot of secrets that a lot of people don't tell you, you know? And it's hard to find that. It's hard to find a boat guy, a boat channel that will teach you, you know, everything. Like, and not even care. Like, like boat propellers. Every secret squirrel, he wants to keep all his shit secret. Secret squirrel, you know, like that's just, you know, great channel, great channel. But he don't go into detail a lot about a lot of the stuff that he does to his boats. A lot of the little modifications and ride pad and strut positions, what they do to the boat, what they might not do to the boat, what it does when you put this propeller on and a rudder in this, like this shaped rudder and that shaped rudder with this strut, all that stuff. I mean, it's hard to find a boat channel that teaches that type of thing. And RC car channels is dime a dozen. Boat channels, hell, most of the boat channels, they throw the boat in the water and watch, you know, you watch them run around the pond. They don't say shit. They don't teach you nothing. They just run their boat, okay? That's why I started my channel, all right? I gained the knowledge over, you know, 6-7 year period. Well, about 6 years, I guess. And took that knowledge from RC boats, my 6 years of knowledge. Dad was a mechanic, okay? I grew up around boats, race boats, like little 3-point hydroplanes with a 7.5 Super 10s on it. You ride the boat on your knees. Like my dad, my grandpa, he used to be a shrimp boat builder. He used to build 3-point hydroplanes. And I've taken all my knowledge, everything about one-to-one boats, and swapped it over to these little boats, okay? And I try to educate you guys as much as I possibly can. I try. I'm not a professional. I'm not a freaking professional like Improv 5 Performance, man. He's like a freaking professional. He's like, oh man, like, oh shit, if this freaking piece of wood right here was splintered off, you'd rip it off and put another piece on. No, I'm not like that. I'm like you guys. I'm on a budget. I like to have fun. I love to build boats, and I like to teach. You know, and you just can't find that in the boating hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like Mild to Wild. I like his channel. He's got a freaking cool channel. He'll let you in on some secrets and stuff. He shows you the boat after he's built and everything, and like what he's done to it. He'll tell you what types of struts he's put on, and you know, batteries and all that stuff. Like some guys, they won't even freaking let you know what size or what brand batteries they put in their freaking boat. You know, like come on, man, come on. When I got that 42, man, I was full of new information for guys, and it made me feel like I was important, like, you know, and the guys appreciated what I was telling them, because that 42, people, you know, a lot of guys, that was their first boat ever, and they had no freaking idea what they got themselves into, what kind of maintenance to do on that boat, or nothing, you know. I tell you what, man, making the videos it's very time consuming. It's very time consuming making these videos, editing the videos, and it don't really give me a whole lot of time to actually work on my boats anymore. And it kind of, I'm not going to say it sucks, because I enjoy sharing my experiences with you guys, but I don't get a lot of time to actually make my custom parts and stuff, like, you know, yeah, I like making parts for boats, you know, like water pickups and rudders, rudder blades, changing out rudder blades, and I just don't get the time to do it. And like my rudder, like when I made those rudder blades and tested them out on the boat to show you guys that you could do that, you know, it didn't really get a whole lot of views. And you know, I spent a whole week on 2 videos, a whole week that really didn't get no views. But you got these guys building a freaking boat out of cardboard using like a brushed motor, and the damn thing half sinks when they put it in the water. I mean, it ain't hitting on shit. And those guys get like 1 billion freaking views. I'm here working my ass off doing something that I freaking love, trying to promote the boating hobby to the fullest. Okay, and I don't get, oh man, it's I don't know, man. You know, which I've only been doing YouTube for about 1.5 years now, and I've actually done good for my first channel, 1.5 years, and I'm super stoked to have all my subscribers, and you guys have been great, like I said. But I just, you know, that grinds my gears. These guys, they make like these I'm not gonna say retarded, because no boat that you know, nothing that floats on the water that somebody's put their time into to build is, you know, it's not pointless. It's not a waste of time. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, because, you know, I sat there and watched the videos, and you know, I was entertained. You know, the guys didn't say nothing through the video. They just, you know, make a freaking cardboard boat or wooden ruler for a rudder and all that stuff. And that's cool because it teaches kids, younger kids, how to build a boat. You know, they're sitting at the house bored. They, you know, it gets them off the freaking video games. You know, and I guess that's why they do so well with those type of videos. You know, just a little brush boat with no rhyme or reason. The damn video gets 1 billion views. But, you know, I'm sitting here building, you know, halfway decent boats here, you know. And, you know, on a good video, I might get 15,000 views in a year, you know. But, they build a cardboard boat with a freaking ruler as a rudder and a damn drone propeller as a propeller, and they get a gazillion views. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm just jacking my jaws, talking. I mean, this is a long process. If you guys have stuck in here for what, 30 minutes listening to me jack my jaws, thank you very much. You know, I gave you a couple of my like ideas that I've been thinking about forever. You know, that catamaran, man, that's really something I've been wanting to do, y'all, and I can't believe I told you. I might not even tell you. I might delete it. But I appreciate y'all listening to me. You know, I'm just building my boat. There's only so much you can talk about with epoxy. Only so many tips I can give you. You know. Yeah, I'm trying to dry brush it. Feel like I've gotten everything coated pretty good. I definitely want that epoxy to seep down on these little crevices right here, you know, so I might go kind of heavy right here. I don't want no water in these sponsons. They're supposed to be bone dry. You don't want no water in there. So any steps you can take to keep water out the sponsons, I suggest trying it. I'm gonna get a rag and wipe it down smooth, all the tops of these stringers and bulkheads. I'm gonna wipe off all that epoxy that I got on there. I don't want any built up epoxy on my stringers or bulkheads. That way I get it. Well, for one, I won't have to do much sanding before I put my skin on, my topside skin, and two, it'll give you a smoother surface to glue your skin onto, you know. Which, hell, I could be wrong. It's my first wood boat build. What the hell do I know, you know? Super B. Yeah, man, she's coming along. Jeez, man, I'm freaking running my mouth today for some reason. I can't shut up. The hell, I shouldn't have drank that freaking cup of coffee. Earlier. And a cappuccino right after it. Freaking. Oh, that was a big mistake. I'll warn you guys next time I have a couple cups of coffee back to back before I do a video. I'll warn you. I'll warn you. Alright, so I'm almost done with this thing, you guys. I'm not going to make you watch it dry. Watch it cure out. It's 24-hour. You guys will see it in the next video. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and get this video out. That way I can tell somebody about my $1 million idea with the catamaran, and y'all can go ahead and get on that and send me an email. My email's in the description once you get the catamaran built and the ride pads all done. Just send me an email. I'll give you my address so you can send me a boat. Alright. Went through and kind of dry brushed the whole boat. Made sure I got it in every little nook and cranny, everywhere. Took my brush with no epoxy on it, you know, just kind of dry, you know, had a little bit of epoxy, and I just smeared all this existing epoxy into everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this tape off. Okay, The boat weighed 91 grams before I epoxy the inside. This is just one single coat. I may go back over it in some areas that, especially in here where it's going to be getting wet, you know. The sponsons, they should be all right. 3.9, so that's 110 grams, I guess, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'll let you know, like right here, if I'm right or not. I know the video's long. It's like an hour long. I'm jacking my jaws. The epoxy's tacked off. All right, it's been sitting for about 10 hours or so. All right, it's almost dry, but it's still tacky. Okay, so you can see where I've been going over it. I put 4 grams of epoxy in this little mixing cup. 4 grams. Okay, not much at all. The reason why I went ahead and did that is because I went ahead and epoxied the underside of my hatches. I almost forgot the aft and front hatch. Okay, so what I'm gonna do real quick, I'm gonna put this piece of veil in where my drive shaft's gonna sit. So when I'm working that drive shaft back and forth and stuff, I don't mess my balsa up. All right, that's why I haven't even messed with it yet, because I know I'll break something. So I'm just gonna cut a couple little pieces right here. This is fiberglass veil. It's very, very thin. It really don't even add any structure, to be honest with you. But it does. It will. Not much, but it's better than just having pure epoxy on the boat with, you know, over balsa. You see that? I'm just going over this slit. Okay, this slit's for reference, and I can drill it out, no problem. I'm just going to put a couple pieces in. Boom, I'm done. All right, just going to add a little bit of rigidity right there. That's basically the only piece of fiberglass cloth I'm going to put in this boat. All right, well, on the inside of the boat anyway. I got 2 pieces overlapped, and I'm going to put a third right on top. This stuff don't weigh nothing. It's like super thin. See that? Alright, that should do it. I'm rough when I'm installing drive shafts and stuff. I do a lot of bending, a lot of moving around. You know, this is a 4-piece drive shaft system in this boat, and half of the drive shaft's not even concealed inside a stuffing tube. It's really neat. It's really cool drive shaft system. But me being me, big B, big clumsy, and yeah, I just want to reinforce this area right here. So yeah, you guys, it's the next day. Everything's cured out, nice and solid. The veil turned out perfect. You can't even tell it was laid in there. No transition lines. A little bit of flex on the balsa parts, but that's to be expected. I went over the sponsons twice. You know, 1 coat back here. I think that should be plenty. I'll waterproof all that from the outside once we epoxy the outside of the boat. But she looks good. She turned out really good. All right. 2 coats in the tub part. 2 coats in the tub part. If you guys hung in here this long, thank you guys. Thank you. Sorry about the long video. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get off my chest. You know, just some ideas I wanted to run past you guys, get your opinions, and yeah, the catamaran $1 million idea. You're welcome. You're welcome. Tell me guys what you think. You know, tell me what you think about that. Big B here with Ironclad RC. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Big B with Ironclad RC.